Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this edition of Inside Pitch with Joe Mansolino and my co-host, Paul Marini.
Where'd he go?
Getting ready for some baseball in the postseason.
I am speechless in the fact that, Chris, we had the Sports Zone this morning, and my friend, Chris Strickland, picked the Cardinals to win the World Series. I just wanted to backslap him just as hard as I could. How do you sit here in front of me and pick the Birds?
They're strong.
They're not that strong.
They're strong.
They're not that strong. Even if they get to the postseason, which they did. And even if they get to the division championship game, which they might, and even if they were to get to the World Series, they're not going to get through the Blue Jays.
Blue Jays are looking tough. I mean, this was a pretty good season. This was a baseball fan's great season because we're going down. Tomorrow's the last scheduled game of the year. And going into today's games, 11 different games had some kind of playoff ramification. That's pretty amazing this late into the season. It
sure did. And the brackets, they're out.
It's amazing. Like going into today's game, you know the you know the Mets are going to be playing the Dodgers. You just don't know yet where that's going to be. So those games have impact for both of those teams. Of course, in the American League, we have the Rangers, Astros, and Angels all still fighting to win the division.
Yeah, that's going to come down. That's going to come down to tomorrow.
To tomorrow for sure. That's just amazing. I mean, only the Royals, and the Blue Jays really won hands down. I mean, there's just a lot of things still going on.
Well, I'm looking at the brackets, Joe, and I'm going to tell you, there's two games that excite me. And I say games because the wild card game between the Astros and the Yankees,
gonna be a good one.
Houston has owned the Yankees all year.
Gonna be a good one.
That game is going to be a barn burner. But let me tell you what, the one that's going to steal the show, Chicago and Pittsburgh, they're going to meet again.
One game playoff. One game,
winner goes on,
Pittsburgh.
Loser goes home. You're going to get Jake Arrieta and probably Burnett.
I can see that
for the Pirates. He's been good.
Doing well.
Or Garrett. If you get Garrett and Jake and they're both on, you could be 0-0 in the ninth inning.
Could be. And for some people who watch baseball, they think that's boring. I think 0-0 going into the ninth could be, and usually is some of the most exciting baseball you've ever seen.
Especially if they go to pitch minimums. Where each guy is only averaging 10 or 12 pitches an inning. Because then pitch count gets out. It goes out the window. Problem is if you're the Cubs or the Pirates, and you have to go with your aces, which you have to do. Look who's waiting on you there at the other end.
Oh yeah,
the Birds.
I mean, it's just amazing. Two teams from the National League Central playing for the wild card against each other, and the winner plays the division winner from the National League Central. I mean, that's just...
I don't recall it ever being that way.
It's never been that way, ever.
I can't recall it ever being that way. And you don't want to leave out that... You want to take it?
Yeah. Hello?
Hey, Joe.
Inside Pitch. Yes, sir. Hold on just 1 second.
You're good. Go ahead, caller.
How you doing?
Yankee.
What's going on, Mr. Yankee?
I want to first do a shout-out. I want to do a shout-out to Chris Minns. That was the former Army officer who ran after that Creighton nut up in Oregon and took 5 bullet holes and is still alive.
Isn't he something? What an amazing story that was.
Oh, this guy is you talk about a hero. He ran after this guy.
He did. I mean, he definitely did.
It took at least 5 bullets, and the guy's still alive.
And the guy's still alive. Pretty amazing.
Great. That's heroes, Joe. We still got him.
We've still got him. That was a very heroic thing that he did.
Very good. Very good. You know what? All these nuts out there, you can win it, but you're not going to do this.
Very, very true.
You're not going to win. Joe, I want to make a little bit of a prediction, okay?
Let's hear it.
I think the Chicago Cubs are going to beat Pittsburgh and a good chance to beat the Cardinals, and will face the Dodgers for the National League pennant.
Wow. You just made somebody in this room really, really excited.
Mr. Yankee, I almost choked on my Slim Jim there.
I'll tell you what, it's very simple. Chris Mariota, nobody's going to beat this guy. He's going to beat Pittsburgh, and then he's going to win at least 2-3 games against the Cardinals.
That's possible.
He can do it.
Yeah, this guy is on a roll like I haven't seen since Hershiser in 88.
Oh, Hershey was
great.
Yeah.
Great season, and when he was on that scoreless streak, yeah, that was something.
I mean, this guy is giving up. He practically gives up a run. Rarely gives up a run, and he's just unbeatable right now. 22 wins. In the last 10 games, his earned run average is what, 0.4? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's way under.
Less than half a run.
Yeah.
I mean, it is pretty amazing.
You know what, and like Hershiser, who brought him into the World Series, I think this guy can do that too.
You think he can carry him all the way through?
Yes, I just think this guy's on a groove, like I said, that Hershiser groove in 88. This guy is just, I don't see anybody beating him, bro.
He's definitely hot at the right time of the season.
Mr. Yankee gonna make me cry. Keeps this up, it's gonna be a tear-jerking show.
He is definitely the right time of the season, and consistently the whole year. He has just been phenomenal.
He is a truly right this year. He's a great pitcher right now. Right now, he's a great pitcher.
I think so too.
So I think the Cubs got him, and they got these young kids who don't know pressure really. I think they can go all the way to face the Dodgers. I think the Dodgers and the Cubs are going to be in the National League Finals.
So you're thinking the Dodgers are going to take the Mets?
Yeah, I do, but it's going to be close, Joe. That's a great series. So, it's all up to Kershaw. To me,
I agree wholeheartedly.
I think that Clayton Kershaw pitches like Clayton Kershaw, and Greinke pitches like Greinke, they can win 4 of those games.
I think that's true. But the question is, will Kershaw be able to do it in the playoffs?
That's the biggest question, Joe. That's why we got the playoffs. Let's see.
Yeah. Because
Bring it on.
It's going to be interesting, and the last I heard, they haven't decided yet who is going to start the game. Either Greinke or Kershaw to be the number one.
I think Greinke should start.
And why do you think that?
He's been the number one starter all year, Joe. The guy is still pitching great. Why would I change it now?
Okay, and I can see that argument, and I'll give you an argument for Kershaw. Because he's not been successful the last 2 postseasons. I think the fact that he wasn't successful in the last 2 postseasons got into his head, which was why he had a slow start the beginning of this season. And if all of a sudden he now isn't the number one guy going into the playoffs, I think that's going to get into his head, and he won't be as successful. If he's the number one guy, I think he'll have a better chance of doing it. And even if he does what he's done the last 2 years, and the Dodgers go 1 game down to the Mets, Greinke's going to pick it up and they're going to be even again.
Oh, great. They're all great arguments. Yeah, the thing is, let's play. Let's play ball.
Ernie Banks all the way. Let's play. And that's exactly right. I mean, that is the only way. I mean, all those arguments make sense, but we got to do it on the field and see what's going to happen.
Right. It's going to be an exciting series. Just to have the Mets and the Yankees in it, New York is going crazy.
Oh, I can't even imagine. And if the Angels get in tomorrow, the 2 LA teams and the 2 New York teams are both in the playoffs, that's never happened.
That's coast-to-coast baseball, Joe.
Boy, that's for sure. That's for sure.
And then you throw in a little sprinkle of Chicago and Pittsburgh. Oh my God, it's great.
Yeah, and don't forget north of the border there with Toronto. There's nobody playing better right now than they are.
I think Joe, Toronto might win the whole thing.
I can very easily see that. They are stacked. They're stacked with hitters. They have great pitching. And like I've said ever since we've been talking about them, their fans are very similar to Chicago Cub fans. Very loyal, very demonstrative, and deserve a season like they're having.
And to put the caller on mute who said that it's going to be the Blue Jays and not the Cubs.
I tell you something, I'm so glad the Cubs are in there, man.
I think that's great for the city. That's great for the city.
It's great for that franchise. That's a great franchise.
It is a great franchise. They've made so many good decisions with this new ownership. I mean, to bring Theo Epstein in and watch him again do what he does that only he can do is just amazing to watch. And then when he selects a guy like Madden to be the manager, and everything goes by the script. I mean, just amazing. Just a lot of fun to see.
Tell you something, they're going to be record with the next 3 or 4 years.
You think so?
Oh yeah. And this is a young team, though. It's not like it's got old players. These guys are young. Look at those. Look at that core. The guy at third base, Chris Bryant, that catcher in left field, Schwarber. Oh my God, this guy's a hitting machine.
Something.
And then you got the shortstop. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's a local boy too. Did you know that?
Yeah, and Castro moving over to second base.
Castro in his 27 errors a year can go.
Uh-oh.
I'm serious. I can see very easily getting rid of Castro and putting a Jorge there.
Yeah, but Castro's got a pretty good bat, though. You don't want to lose that.
He does, but I would rather get rid of that bat and keep them 27 or 47 errors a year. Because no doubt about it, some of them are going to cost you big games. And to be honest with you, he doesn't really fit the mold anymore. I think Joe Madden did what he did, though, out of fire under his butt. And it did that because since he had that meeting with Joe, he's been a much different ball player. But he has to maintain that over an extended period of time, and he's proven in the past he can't really do that. I see Castro being traded. I see Soler going to second. Or they got that the new kid who's I can't remember his name now. Blees, who just came up, and I can see him coming in and taking over second as well.
Well, right now the Cubs that's a core of good young players. Good as they are in baseball, Joe. What do you think?
I've been saying all along that they are going to be not only in it this year, which most people didn't think.
I didn't.
But they're going to be in it.
I didn't. I thought we'd be in it next year for sure. This year, this is all This is like bonus.
And I think, Mr. Yankee, just what you're saying. I mean, I think the next 4 or 5 years they're in it for a lot of different reasons. Like we're saying now, this is the best young team in the game. And in my opinion, they also have the best AAA team and the best AA team. So they're in the position to let some guys go, to make some trades where they need certain things. I mean, they're set.
We need
easy 5 or 6 guys.
We need a number 3.
You need another starting pitcher for sure.
We need a number 3 real bad.
Yeah, there you go.
We gotta get another number 3.
Get a good number 3 next year. Wow.
Yeah, if we get a good number 3, we can go deep.
Yeah.
But
I think this year, like I said, we keep pitching in Arizona and we're going to move up. I just think he's going to shrink unbelievable.
He has been really something. And just his location is just amazing.
It's where he wants to put it. Every time he just puts it where he wants it.
I mean, he really makes me think of Greg Maddux. I mean, he is just, without a doubt, hitting his spots, and he has everything going with him. His pitching, his concentration, his momentum. He just really got it all going.
He's a Picasso when he's on the mound. He can paint the corners, paint whatever pictures he wants to paint. I mean, he puts them right where he needs to put them, and then when he needs that nasty hook of his, he's got it.
He's Greg Maddux with a lively fastball.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
I mean, it's exciting to see a pitcher just take over the whole league. Wow.
And he really has. I mean, he has just done it.
Oh, it's wonderful. It's wonderful to watch. Man, just like Madison Bumgarner did in the World Series, that's what this guy's doing.
Very much so. Very much so. I mean, I think the difference is he isn't going to be carrying the whole team on his shoulders. Everybody there is performing well.
Yeah, but that's because of the manager, Joe.
Absolutely right.
Yeah, because Joe's not afraid to move you around. You know, Maddux is not afraid to roll the dice or flip the coin, so to speak, and move guys in uncomfortable positions. What he's basically telling these young men is, this is where I'm putting you. I need you to perform here.
That's all.
And it's working.
I love it. Yeah, you know what? Everybody likes playing for Joe Madden, Joe.
You know what? He has done. Who would have thought, besides me, that the Cubs would be where they are right now? Nobody.
Yeah, I didn't. Like I said, me and you argued about it the first show we ever did. I saw next year. I did not see this coming.
And and to tell a loyal Cub fan that their team is going to make it when they don't think they are, that's, because they're going into May every year, they think they're going to do it.
Yeah, but by the 1st of June, we're convinced otherwise. But this year, it's different, because this year, we believe we will win. We believe that we will win. We believe that we will win.
And
and we do.
Oh boy.
And there he goes. But I think they are right now like Kansas City was a couple years ago. Kansas City has been terrible forever, and now they're going to be good for a while. And I think the Cubs are following those footsteps. And like I said, 5 and 6 years, easy coming up. They're going to be one of the teams to beat for sure.
And eventually they're going to win that World Series, Joe.
Oh yeah.
I think Joe Madden is just the best. Is just the best at getting his players to play. He knows baseball. This guy deserves a world championship.
You can't argue that. I mean, you just can't argue that. He is on fire with this team. He has done everything that can be done.
Yes. And like we both agree, they're a young team.
They're a very young team. And like you said, usually going into the postseason, it's the young teams with the lack of experience that you're going to lose in the playoffs because you don't have that experience. I think they are so young, and he is in such good control of them that I don't see that happening. I really think he tells them every day, don't worry about this stuff, just go have fun. If we win, we win. And
they buy into it.
And I
they
think
bought
that's
into
what
it,
he's
hook,
telling
line,
them.
and sinker.
Look at the difference between Joe Madden and Matt Williams. Matt Williams choked under the pressure.
Oh, did he ever?
Matt Williams doesn't have control of his team whatsoever.
No.
He was the wrong pick from the beginning. I mean, I really think that should be Dusty Baker right there.
Why isn't Dusty Baker managing, Joe? Why?
Who knows? Who knows?
What did he do? He did something to somebody.
You know, when you've been manager of the year 3 times with 3 different teams and you don't have a job, I don't know that it's Dusty as much as it just is some of the GMs don't know what they're doing. You know, and when you look at some of the teams that are out there that are 20 games out, 25 games out, I think it proves that they don't know what they're doing.
If you got a good farm system, and even though you didn't win, you got to get Dusty Baker. I play a dream perfect for Dusty Baker. How about the Arizona Diamondbacks?
Oh, him too.
I mean, they got a good team. They made all these, they brought in these players, and they ain't done crap. Don't you think it's time to bring in a manager that is good with players like that?
I really think that next year, or this season coming up, 2016, Dusty Baker is going to have his pick from 4 or 5 teams as to where he wants to be, if he's decided yet that he wants to come back.
And like I said, I love the Arizona Diamondbacks got some good players. San Diego, those are good stops for them.
It is. It really is. I mean, there's a lot of teams out there that can use a guy like him. But you know what? Anybody can use a guy like him.
Yeah.
He's just one of the best. And you know what? We've given Madden the props, and he deserves them. But there's some other guys out there that deserve the props too. Mike Matheny has done a heck of a job.
How about Paul Molitor?
Paul Molitor has been absolutely amazing.
Right? Now that team wasn't picture ending and they just got eliminated, but they were right there right up to the last week.
Yeah, up until I think today.
Yeah. Matheny's done a great job. There's no question. Yeah. He's done a great job in Paul Molitor. You know, you got to give him some props.
Yeah, but didn't Matheny...
Girardi has done a great job. Nobody thought the Yankees would be in it this year.
But didn't Matheny catch for the Cardinals when La Russa was in St. Louis?
Yes, he did.
So he learned to manage a ball game from one of the absolute best.
And arguably one of the best. That could be argued.
But here's the thing: you still have to perform you still have to manage these guys.
And you know, and he does. I mean, he does a great job of dealing with the players. He's the very smart thing where he allows his catchers to call the plays because he knows how important that is.
Yes.
He communicates with the players well. He is just a class man too. I mean, he's really done a heck of a job. When he first got the job, he was not the most experienced person there, but they knew what they had, and I think he's lived up and surpassed how they thought he would be. I think he's really done a heck of a job.
And you know what? Give props out to Yadier Molina. What a job he's done with that team over the years.
Oh my gosh. And still, I mean, day in and day out catching, and still one of the best. And what he's done with that pitching staff is just been phenomenal.
It's pretty, you know, he may not have the Hall of Fame bat, but he's got the Hall of Fame glove, Joe.
Oh, does he ever? His fielding percentage, he's always leading the league. He's always right in the top 4 or 5 guys, always. But you know,
and you know, he's good. He's good manager material.
well, just look who all the good managers are. Catchers make the good managers because they're thinking they're doing that stuff for the whole game.
Right. And may I say, rest in peace to one of the greatest, Yogi Berra.
Oh my gosh, wasn't that sad? Without a doubt, one of the best baseball minds, one of the best men on the planet was Yogi Berra. A big, big loss for the New York area, for baseball, and for the world. Just a truly class man.
This guy was a war hero. D-Day. Purple Heart on D-Day. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, and people don't realize that. You know, I mean, he fought for this country and loved our country, and you know, a lot of people never saw him play. I think we can all agree he will be remembered for his yogiisms.
Oh my God!
And he was great. They were some pretty funny things.
But here's a great stat about Yogi.
If you come to the fork in the road, take the fork.
Yeah, we're here.
No, but here's a great stat about Yogi. For every 100 times he was up at the plate, he only struck out 6 times. Are you kidding me?
6 times in every 100 at bats. That is just crazy. But when you watch film of Yogi playing, there was nowhere you could pitch the ball where he wasn't going to swing. He'd swing at grounders. He'd swing at a ball 8 feet over his head. He was just amazing, and he did it.
Well, that's the thing. His philosophy was see ball, hit ball. He didn't care what it was.
No.
Oh my God. You know what?
These guys who and you know, I understand it and agree with it. You know, wait for a strike, make sure you're swinging at a strike. But Yogi didn't care, like you said. See ball, hit ball. He didn't care where it was.
And he batted fourth in a lot of those great Yankee teams.
He sure did.
He was a field hitter. A lot of people think it was Mantle no, it was Yogi. Until 1961, Mantle batted third, Yogi batted fourth.
And just look what he did. I mean, what an amazing athlete. What an amazing person. Such a sad loss.
Oh man, baseball is going to miss Yogi. Baseball
is going to miss him, and we are down to 1 or 2 characters in the game left.
Tommy Lasorda.
Tommy Lasorda is definitely one.
You know,
a great ambassador for the game.
Oh God, this is baseball needs this.
I mean, you know, he's the only one who has won a World Series and an Olympic gold medal.
Yes.
As a manager. And just...
In my opinion, Joe, one of the great managers of all time.
I know that's one of your opinion, and you know, he's in the Hall of Fame as a manager. You can't argue that opinion.
No. 1988 was one of the greatest managerial jobs ever in the history of baseball.
That was an amazing, amazing year.
Oh my God, Joe, come on! Oh my God!
And how fun to watch. Hershiser dominating every game he pitched. Gibson being Gibson. I mean, that was just such a great season. And that, you know, and that was what baseball is all about, which is what the Cubs are doing right now. They won as a team. Every single player from 1 through 9 contributed to those wins, and they all worked together and played together as a team.
You know, that's what it's all about. That's why they play the game, Joe. That's why they play the game.
That's right. Very true.
Yeah. You're a prohibitive favorite, but that don't mean you're going to win.
That's true. Mr. Yankee, hold on for a minute. We got to take a break, but stay with us, and we'll be right back with Mr. Yankee.
Where are all the country girls?
They're at farmersonly.com. You don't have to be lonely
told you that you were thirsty. You were thirsty for something that you couldn't describe. It's like coming onto the promise, just a trickle, even a glimmer of moisture, of water in the vast desert. What if I told you that there's a fountain beneath you, like a river flowing deep and blue and cold, that if you found this, that you could drink like a kid who drinks glass after glass of water from the tap after playing kickball all day in July? What if I told you that others would run with their tin cups and ladles, their pots and buckets, their hopes, fears, regrets, pasts and futures, up to your side just to catch some of this water? What if I told you that there is more for you? There is more for us. There is more for this desert.
Kids had won it, Bobby Thompson had done it, and Yogi read the comics all the while. Rock and roll was being born, marijuana we would scorn. So down on the corner the national pastime went on trial. We're talking baseball, Klazuski, Campanella, talking baseball. The man and Bobby Fella, the Scooter, the Barber and the Nuke. They knew them all from Boston to Dubuque, especially Willie, Mickey, and the Duke.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, with that great song. Back talking the playoffs. If you want to call in, our number is 850-435-4007. Feel free to join us. We're here with Mr. Yankee, but before we get started, before I forget, I want to remind people that October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And one of the things you can do is go to your local post office and buy breast cancer stamps. You get a sheet of 20 for $12, and of that $12, $2.20 goes straight to breast cancer research. It's a great thing, and let's end this dreaded disease. Those of you in the Foley, Gulf Shores, Orange Beach area, be sure and buy your breast cancer stamps at the Summerdale Post Office. So, Mr. Yankee.
Yo, and don't forget, wear pink all month.
Wear pink all month. Wear pink all month is right.
I will in my job every. I'm going to put on a nice pink bow tie tonight.
There you go. Sounds good. All right, Mr. Yankee, we got a break. We got another caller calling in. We will get back with you.
Are you sure? Do you want me to? Because I get.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
You want me to hang on or,
no, you go right ahead.
Next week.
No, keep going.
Okay. Okay.
So what else you got?
Well, I'm just excited for this playoffs. There's a lot of good teams in there. Teams that you didn't expect to be there. This is the year of the unexpected teams, Joe. The Cubs, the Mets, right?
You know, and at the break, I was just telling Paul, I'd like to talk about the Mets a little. Terry Collins has done a great job with that team.
That's a terrific job, but I tell you, the acquisition of Cespedes.
That pushed them over. It sure did.
And young pitchers coming around. Stu Garden and, Harvey, DeGrom. Wow. You know what? The Mets have 3 good pitchers that they can rely on.
They do. And hitting. I mean, they're a tough team, too.
Well, this guy's Cespedes has been a mess. And you got the old pro out there at third base, David Wright. This guy's a professional ball player.
He really is. He's there day in and day out, and it's good to see. But I'll tell you what, Mr. Yankee, Paul's going to give us some of his predictions, and let's see what we think.
All right, guys. I've been working on this, Mr. Yankee. I got this figured out. Okay. So this is what I see happening in the American League. I see Texas over Kansas City in 7.
Okay.
Houston knocks off the Yankees to go to take on the Blue Jays.
Okay.
The Blue Jays over Houston in a clean sweep.
There you go. Yeah, there's no question that. What are you talking about? Toronto? Oh yeah. There's no question Toronto is the team to beat in the American League.
So then I have Texas and the Blue Jays in the championship series. I have the Blue Jays sweeping Texas in 4 to go to the World Series.
Wow.
Now, National League. I have the Mets over the Dodgers, but it's going to take them 6 games to do it. Then I have the Cubs over Pittsburgh to go into St. Louis, where the Cubs take it from the Cards in 7. Now,
see that?
Championship Series, NL Championship Series, the Mets and the Cubbies. The Mets take it from the Cubs in 7. Putting the New York Mets, or I'm sorry, let's get this correct, the New York Metropolitans versus the Toronto Blue Jays, where the Blue Jays take it in 5.
Wow.
That's what I see coming down the pipe.
You know, that's all good. You know, and hey, that can definitely happen.
Yeah.
You know, as I hear it, I can maybe argue about a game or two difference in the thing, but all of the winners that he predicted, you can't argue any of those. But like we said earlier, you got to do it on the field.
Yeah. My 2 teams to make it to the World Series are the Dodgers and the Blue Jays. And I'm not going to call it. It's too tough. But I like the Blue Jays, I think, to win the whole thing.
It's really hard to pick against the Jays to not win at all.
And
they would just have to implode on themselves.
And that's really what I think it's going to come down to. If they keep playing the kind of baseball that they've been playing and don't beat themselves, I think it's a foregone conclusion that they will be the champions of the 2015 World Series.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I don't care if they're playing the Mets or the Dodgers or the Cubs or the Pirates or the Cards. I really don't.
Cubs could give them a problem if the Cubs could get there, but I don't think. Listen, I think that the Cubs and the Cardinals play each other so tight, and up until the second half, the Cardinals have owned the Cubs. The second half, the Cubs have owned the Cardinals.
At the right time. I'd rather own somebody in the second half than the first half.
That's why I think the Cubs are going to get over on the Cards. Also, the Cubs have a better record against the Pirates in the second half. At Pittsburgh.
Well, here's the thing with the Pirates. If it's a one-game series and the Cubs bring out Arrieta, the Cubs are going to win.
And that's what he's saying. I think that's true. Even if it is in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, even if it is in Pittsburgh. And it will be in Pittsburgh. I don't think there's a chance in the world the Cubs can do anything to change where the game's being played.
You know what? And then you got to go to the fact that, okay, he's pitched that game. Now he's got 3 more games before he can get in against St. Louis.
That's where the depth of your starting pitching comes in.
It is, but Joe Madden has done this before where he has taken and won a game by using the bullpen. He gets somebody out there for 2 or 3 innings, and like Kyle Hendricks. We can get Hendricks out for 2 or 3 innings. That's usually what he's good for. He starts falling off. We can go in and be bullpen by committee. An inning here and 2 innings here. The Cubs can do that with their bullpen. Now, they can't rely on them to go deep or go long. They just need to. Lester's going to give you 8, 7, 8. Hendricks is going to give you 3. You got to piece the rest together with your bullpen. Hamels is going to give you 6. And then you got to close it out with your bullpen. Then by that time you're back around to Jake.
And you know what? I'll tell you, of all the teams that are going to be in it, and no matter which one for the Dodgers is number 2, either Greinke or Kershaw, Lester's going to be the next best number 2 guy out there over anybody. I think he's going to take control.
Here's the thing: if you can get Arrieta to win 2 and Lester to win 2, somehow then you can win it. If you can get Arrieta to get 2 games against the Cardinals, say the 3rd and the 6th or the 3rd and the 7th, that's where they're going to win it.
So do you think it's a foregone conclusion, both of you, that he's going to go on 3 days rest for the rest of the year?
Yeah, I think he has to. And I think he's in good enough condition to do it. I don't know if you guys saw him stretching the other day, but he did some sort of bending, mooning dog thing out in the outfield where he was all bent in 3 or 4 different ways and directions. And just listening to his interview, he changes his warm-up and his exercise routine every game, so that every game he's focusing and stretching a different muscle in a different area so that he stays loose. And
hey guys, this guy is a monster. He's reminding me so much of Hershiser and Madison Bumgarner, 2 pitchers that I can remember just took over their series.
And he's in the best shape of his life right now. And
I'm telling you, this guy could be the key to the whole series.
I think that's a definite. But like I said, I think when it was Hershiser and when it was Bumgarner, especially Bumgarner, he carried a lot of that weight. I think so many of those players on the Cubs teams are playing well that Arrieta doesn't have to worry about that. All he has to worry about is his job, and that's not a problem for him.
Here's my question, guys. If you go back and look at the games in the last, I don't know, let's say 4 weeks, the Cubs have jumped out on guys 4 and 5 runs by the 3rd inning. In that playoff atmosphere, if you get that far down, the amount of pressure that opposing team is going to feel is going to be enormous. And that's going to affect their ability to come back.
Very true.
That's what the playoffs are about, though. You know what? You want to be in the playoffs all your life. But it's a thing. It's 90% mental and half mental. Whatever Yogi said is true.
He said the game is 90% mental and half talent.
Yeah, it never added up.
And half talent.
Yeah. And Yogi knew.
Oh, did he ever?
You know, it's I had the fortunate to be born in New Jersey at the time when Yogi was in his prime. And my 2 favorite players growing up were Phil Rizzuto and Yogi Berra. You know what? And I couldn't have picked 2 nicer guys.
And 2 Hall of Famers.
See, and I don't know why I have the desire to always go, I must be in the front row. I don't even know who Uger played for.
Milwaukee.
He was a Brewer?
No, he was a Brave.
Oh, he was a Brave. When did they become the Brewers? Let me ask these 2 wonderful minds.
Bob Uecker.
Oh.
Yeah, I must be in the front row.
Front row.
Yep. Ball 8.
Kind of a quiet ambassador to baseball. You don't hear about him anymore.
No, you sure don't.
No, but there shows a lot of stuff on him on YouTube. Ball 12. I can't believe he laid off of that one.
I don't think he's still announcing anymore.
But you know, I'll tell you something. You want to talk about funny commercials? Yogi Berra's commercials on Aflac. That's my favorite of all time.
He could just make you laugh, couldn't he? They knew just what to say for him to set him up with the Yogi-isms. You know, it's just as good as cash. Money is just as good as cash. That is a perfect Yogi-ism.
And then that's what and he's shaking his head as he's walking out of the barber shop.
Right. Too funny. Too funny.
Oh, that's great, Yogi. Oh my God! And Bob Uecker with the commercials. I must be in the front row.
Yeah, that's what he was just talking about. That was pretty funny.
Yeah. No, boy. Well, anyway, guys, let's play ball. I can't wait till next week.
Can you believe we were talking about it in the beginning of the show? Can you believe how going into today, the next to last day of the season, and 11 baseball games had some kind of playoff connotation attached to them? 11 games with one game to go.
That's great.
That's a scheduler's dream.
I got you. Here you go, guys. Here you go.
About being an ex-big leaguer is getting freebies for the game. Call the front office, bingo. And once these fans recognize me, I probably won't even have to pay for my light bill. Down it! I love them. These fans know I drink light because it's less filling and it tastes great. Good seats, huh? We're in the wrong seat, buddy. Come on. Oh, I must be in the front row. Come on. Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer. And
there you go. The man himself.
Good old Uke.
Great stuff.
And I think he got inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. He got his speech, but we don't have 18 minutes to let you hear it.
Amazing. So we think going into it, Pat, you good with all those predictions?
What's that?
Are you good with all those predictions that Paul made?
I like them. Yeah, you know what? I can't say anything about it. Everything you said made sense.
It all makes sense. But again, that's why we play it on the field, because sometimes on the field, things that don't make sense happen. Like the Dodgers winning in 1988.
Yeah, Joe, it's never over till it's over.
It is never over till it's over, as Yogi said. And that's very true. We've all learned that. And it really isn't over until it's over.
Well, that's what makes sports so great.
It's not over till the fat lady sings, but she is warming up in Pittsburgh.
Uh-oh. But yeah, that Yankees and Astros game is going to be some wild card game too, I think.
I'm going to tell you what, I think Houston's got the Yankees number. They've played them hard all year.
Unless Tanaka's fully healed, it's going to be tough for the Yankees.
I see the Astros taking it. I really do.
Yeah, well, you know what? Tanaka's got that hamstring. He didn't look good as last time.
Right. But you know, like we said, I think ultimately Toronto's got it.
Yeah, that's too good of them. It's a complete team. Hitting, defense.
They are, and you just said it. They are a complete team. All right, Mr. Yankee, I know you got to go. Thanks for calling in and sharing your expertise and your opinions. And hopefully we'll hear you next week.
All righty, guys.
You have a good day. All right. Thank you for calling in. Yeah, Paul, I think your predictions are really good. I mean, I could see them. I don't necessarily like all of them, but they definitely make sense.
Well, I try to please and make everybody happy. And Mr. Yankee, I know you're still listening. I got one more 30-second clip from Mr. Yankee. And guys, in tribute to Yogi Berra.
To Yogi Berra, one of the best.
Not too close. What do you think? I got that insurance?
What insurance is that, Yogi?
The one you really need to have. If you don't have it, that's why you need it.
Need what?
Well, if you get hurt and miss work, it won't hurt to miss work. And they give you cash, which is just as good as money.
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
4 Yogiisms in one commercial. Yeah,
I love it. And they give you cash, and that's just as good as money.
You have to love it.
Oh, my goodness.
Just a classic.
Oh, I don't know what's going on now. Well, more Yogi. It's from What's My Line?
My Line. Brought to you by...
However, we'll put that on the website because we don't have 25 minutes to show you guys. Hey, guys, we are up against the clock. We have 4 minutes left. I want to remind everybody, the Pensacola State Fair opens on the 22nd of October. We will be there. Come see Joe and his beautiful new banner that he'll have out there as we'll be doing the Inside Pitch live from the Pensacola State Fair.
Created by my lovely wife, Crystal.
And I'm about to put her on the clock and have her create one for us. Guys, I want you to come by the booth. We got great giveaways. We're giving away 2 tickets plus airfare to the Super Bowl in San Francisco. We're going to give away 2 tickets with pit passes to the Great American Race, the Daytona 500. And we're going to give 4 tickets away to the Verizon Suites for the SEC Championship game. And it only costs you $1 per ticket to get a chance to win thousands in prizes.
And you know, in all sports, I got to say, Paul, I think the only thing better than that is watching Inside Pitch live and in person.
I think that could be it. That's going to be awesome.
That's the only thing.
And after the show, Joe will be there to sign autographs for anybody who can remember what team he played for. and
I might sign them anyway.
And Joe, you have to tell me before we get there so that I'm not surprised.
But ladies and gentlemen, we really appreciate you listening in tonight. We had a great show talking about what has been truly one of the best baseball seasons in a long time, with 11 games coming down to the wire with 1 game to go. It couldn't be any better. To Pittsburgh, Chicago, St. Louis, the Dodgers, the Mets, Toronto, New York, Houston, Kansas City, and Texas, good luck to all of you, and let's play it on the field and see what happens.
And I want to remind everybody, get up tomorrow morning, get your kids dressed, go to church somewhere, and when you're done, if you're in Pensacola, put the kiddies in the car, head to the fairgrounds, and go check out the greatest show under the big top. As the Cole Brothers Circus is in town, Joe, I'm going to go tomorrow night. Y'all come out and see me. But here's the kicker. I'm not going to watch the circus. I go every year to watch them tear it down. And I go every year at 5 in the morning and watch them set it up.
There you go.
So you come out to the circus, guys. Come see them. It is the best fun you can have prior to the fair coming to town. It's a lot of fun. My kids love it. Your kids will love it too. And trust me, you will make memories that will last a lifetime.
And at that fair, we're going to be out there both October 24th and Halloween, October 31st. So please, those of you in the Pensacola area, make plans and come see us and say hello.
And with that, my friend, we're out of here.
All right, again, thank you all for listening to us, and have a great evening and the rest of a great weekend. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the man song. He's the man. He's the man. I don't take no crap from anybody else but you.